Hello everyone, this is Jotto and welcome to the Hearthstone tournament recap, talking about the top decks, talking about the top players, and the state of the metagame for this week's tournaments. Now before we start, I have a bit of a problem when it comes to these things, which is that the tournament recaps are starting to become insanely tedious to make, and I don't mean difficult. They're not difficult to make. I mean, I've got a structure and everything. I've been doing it for so long now, it's pretty easy. The problem is with these tournaments is that since the mana grind one stopped, the deck lists for tournaments never come out at the same time, ever, which makes it almost impossible to make a show for them. What I mean is things like top deck. So top deck, last week I did 16, this week I'm doing 19, and the next week I'm probably doing 18. Because every other week it comes out on Monday, and every other week besides that, it comes out on Friday or something in terms of deck list. It makes no sense. And Gosu Cup is also like 2-3 weeks behind all the time, and they don't even release them weekly. And none of the other tournaments really release deck lists, and the ESL website is almost impossible to find the actual winners for, and it's just a mess. It's really a mess. So for this week, I only have Zotac lists because I can't get them from anywhere else. So I'm seriously considering scrapping the tournament recaps at the moment until another big tournament starts that actually has publicized deck lists. Then I can restart them. But at the moment, just having Zotac and then just giving lists of names of winners, it's not really my definition of a good show. So I am considering axing these things off on the Tuesdays and Wednesdays until another major tournament starts, which, I mean, if there's another major one that starts within the next week, then sure, I'll go for that. But if any of you guys have any lesser known tournaments which you want covered, put it in the comment section. If you have any ideas as replacement shows, go for it. But I am seriously considering just replacing tournament recap with something that people actually want to see, because making these things is incredibly inconsistent and quite frankly rather irritating. But anyway, so besides that, just put what you think in the comment section below, and I'll read through all of them and make a decision by next week. But as for this week, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? On to the top players from the NA. We had winning the 24th Top Deck NA tournament, Ignite from MYM, and winning the 19th Hearthstone Zotac NA Cup, Mana Grinds Luigi's. So starting with Luigi's, who was playing Warlock, who was playing Handlock. Now this is a very standard handlock list, which is all about making big defensive taunt minions and beating your face in with giants, give or take. There really wasn't that much different in this particular list, apart from 2 Sunwalkers as additional threats, good against Priest as well, but additional threats in terms of your opponent might have to hex or silence these things, which is a big deal in handlock. Only 1 faceless as opposed to the standard 2, which means you're a lot less focused on using facelesses and giants and more so just on the combo with Leroy Jenkins with the 20 damage with power overwhelming. And besides that, the list is pretty much identical to what is normal for handlock. So yeah, double Sunwalker, very interesting. 1 faceless, interesting. Double Iron Beak Cowl is a little less standard than normal, but still quite common. But besides that, pretty much a well-rounded list. Now, as I said, I only have Zotac lists. On to the top players from EU. We had winning top deck, White Powder from Second W. Is that how you say that name? I have no idea. Anyway, winning Zotac, we had Frezar, and from Gosu Cup 12, which is like 2 weeks out of date now that I think about it, E3K. So, on to Zotac's winner, which was Frezar. He won with Miracle Rogue. Interesting note, by the way, and I just bashed my mic. I apologize for that. Interesting note, by the way, this Miracle Rogue list did not lose a single game for the entire series. He only submitted 1 list to Zotac, which means he never lost a game with this, which is incredibly impressive. Incredibly impressive. I don't think I've ever seen a 1 list win on Zotac before. So yeah, onto the Miracle Rogue list he was playing. Now this one has a couple of interesting little things in it, like no Blood Mage Thalnos, and no Earthring Farseers, and a single Senjin. The Senjin is very interesting, actually. One of my teammates, Dappa, who's a Miracle Rogue player, has been testing them out, and he's really liked the taunt it gives you. But the no blood mage is the interesting bit here. 2 loot hoarders, no blood mage. That could be a collection thing, but it could also be a decision. Although I don't really understand the... Like, if it is actually a decision to use double loot hoarder, I'm a bit confused about it, because blood mage is normally a snap addition to this kind of deck. Spell power... It's a spell power loot hoarder. You can't really ask for more when it comes to Miracle Rogue. So a little surprising it isn't in there. Other things that are a bit interesting, we do have the 1 fan, 1 flurry, as opposed to 2 of each, or 2 of 1. Then we have 1 conceal, not the 2, that's been quite popular recently, so you always get that concealed gadget gem. 1 cold blood, because cold blood doesn't really do much in this list, and this engine is just more useful. And 1 Assassin's Blade. Now the Assassin's Blade has been coming out of fashion recently with these Miracle Rogues, mostly because of the downfall of Warrior. Assassin's Blade, it wasn't required to beat Warrior, it was just useful against Warrior, because you managed to get through all that armor, but Warrior's been dropping off so much recently that the Assassin's Blade has sort of left the metagame. But it's very, very interesting to see this list using it, and the fact that it performed so well means that a lot of other rogue players are probably going to start using the Blade once again, even though they did avoid it because of Harrison Jones, Ooze, and such. You didn't really need it in any of your matchups, so it kind of dropped out of the metagame. But as I said, very interesting to see a undefeated list with an Assassin's Blade that a lot of other Miracle Rogue players have just sort of dismissed. And that's about it for this week. Only 2 decks. Yeah, little interesting. Now, this is exactly what I was talking about with the whole deck list thing. Zotac is the only one that actually publicizes deck lists for winners, and the rest of them, they kind of do, but they're always weeks and weeks and weeks and out of date, and probably several metagame shifts have happened before they actually release them. So, I mean, I do want to hear what you guys think about this. Put it in the comment section below. And I'll figure out what I'm doing next week, and I may end up coming with a new show, sort of substitution, unless of course there's like a major tournament that starts up in the next couple weeks. I'll bring back the tournament recaps, hopefully with more decks. Although I think next week I'm probably gonna do a series of videos that are rather sort of a 1-year anniversary special, because it has been a year since I started doing the first Hearthstone weekly show. It's been a year now. It's 50 episodes, going up to 51 now. So next week I'm probably going to do a 1-year anniversary thing. Someone already asked me to do all the decks that I've played competitively. Probably also going to do a history of my view on Hearthstone, since I've been playing Hearthstone for way longer than most people. Since I used to play on Cockatrice, the emulator we had, it was actually an MTG emulator that was ported, so I have a lot to say on those subjects. So I'm probably going to do a couple videos on that next week, and then the week after we'll figure out what we're actually doing with the tournament recaps. But anyway, as for now, this has been Jotto. If you like the content, please subscribe. If you have any feedback or just anything to do with the tournament recap, put it in the comment section below. But as for now, this has been Jotto signing off.